Brilliance Audio presents Ceremony of the Innocent by Taylor Caldwell, performed by Kate Rudd. Part 1. Love or perish? No. Love and perish. Anon. 1. The pastor pointed out his toes to the limit of extension, spread his arms like wings, and lifted his head in an utmost pose of rapture, his old face exalted, his eyes staring as if with ecstasy at the mildewed white ceiling of his church. It was as if he were embracing a vision of angels suffused with dawn, and his congregation stared at him in fascination. His emaciated features appeared to be rayed with another light, and his smile was transported. He spoke softly and with tremolos. "Love or perish. Love or perish, that is the law, and there is nothing else. If we do not love our neighbor with all our hearts after God, we are as poor as the dust and lower than the beasts. What if we possess the riches of Midas and do not love? We are nothing. Trust, trust. He who does not trust his fellow man is evil. He is wicked. There is black sin in his heart. Love, trust." The organ groaned in sympathy, then rose to an accusing note. The meager little church vibrated all through its sifting plaster. The hot noon sun glared through the plain glass windows. As if with grief, the pastor slowly dropped his thin arms, his gaunt head. A dry sob sounded from his channeled throat. He was an old man, and he was very stupid, only a little less stupid than his congregation. He whispered in awe, "Trust, trust, love, love." He had never been so moving. Women wiped their eyes furtively under their cheap straw hats and peeped at their neighbors to see if their feelings had been noted and approved. Men coughed hoarsely and shifted their heavy boots. The organ almost wept. A child whined in the midsummer heat. The yellow dust blew through the open door. The light was intense, burning, harsh. The pastor began to hope that the collection plates would hold more today than usual, for he had not tasted meat for nearly 2 weeks, except for a lean fowl last Sunday. He studied his people from under his pale lashes, and was gratified to see that he had quickened them as never before. He knew them all well and intimately. He had married many of them, had baptized even more, and had buried their dead. He knew their guilts, and had no compassion for their weaknesses, their spiritual and bodily sufferings. It was all sin, all wickedness. The children reeked of it, even those in their mother's arms. All women were inherently dissolute, all men fornicators and adulterers, and faithless and liars. Trust, love, what did they know of these? He sobbed dryly again and let his half-hidden, pallid eyes rove over every subdued face, every weary face, every sad face, and every young face. Sinners all, ripe for the plucking and the burning. He saw his young granddaughter in the middle distance, prim and clean in her dotted Swiss Sunday dress and her straw hat with the red cotton roses. Amelia. Ah! She was a saint, the only saint in this church. Like most of the girls present, she had a small, pink, tight mouth, demurely fixed, a pale complexion, long dropped eyelashes, and polished tubes of hair hanging on her maidenly shoulders. Near her, but not too close, sat that hideous girl, Ellen Watson. In her coarse dress, which had been washed so often that its original blue was almost white, and the hem, let down several times, was lined and resisted.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?